Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to today's vlog. I have Aria here vlogging with me. Woke up a little bit cranky. She also woke up a little bit early. So if you're new here, first of all, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. If you enjoy my content today, make sure to hit the notification bell and subscribe and hit the notification bell, and a big fat thumbs up goes a long way. So I thought that in this week's vlog, I would just start off by sharing a little bit about where I'm at in terms of this nationwide formula shortage and how it's affecting me, and what my plan is for this week to kind of get to a place where I'm in a better situation, where Aria is in a better situation. Basically, with my firstborn son, Jace, I feel like I stopped breastfeeding too soon, and I really wish that I would have went longer with him. And it's kind of a whole story. I explain it in a video, I'll link it up here, but I stopped with him around 5 to 6 months, and I promised that with Aria, if I can breastfeed and everything's going well, that I would try to make it up to a year with her. So far with Aria, things are going really good. She's currently 7 months old. For the first 3 or 4 months that I was nursing her, I had plenty of extra milk that I was actually gathering at each feeding time. I had the haka on the other side. And so just from that alone, I was able to make a pretty good freezer stash. That was fantastic, but eventually I kind of stopped using the haka at every single feeding. And so my stash, every time I say stash, I feel like I'm saying mustache. My freezer stash obviously eventually dwindled away. So now we got to a point where I'm still nursing her for every feeding session, but the very last one of the day, which is right before she goes down to sleep for the night, I'm not producing enough milk. So I started to supplement that very last feeding with some formula. And that being said, this formula shortage does affect us a little bit because of that. So look guys, she's sitting up all on her own now. This is her latest milestone that she reached. Look at you, big girl. Yeah, you can sit up all by yourself. Wanted to show you guys the formula I'm trying. So I've been trying Bobby, but I also have tried the red can one. I can't remember the name of it right now. So those are the two she's taken so far. I have 1 can of this left right now. Richie did run to Costco the other day. He said that there was no more formula on the shelves because I was open to trying Kirkland brand as well. So basically once this can is up, if I don't find more formula, we don't have it. So that's why in this video, I am determined to increase my breast milk supply. I'm so grateful that I even can produce breast milk. I know that it can be so challenging for other people. I feel for the moms out there that are just scared and don't know where they're gonna get their next, can of formula from. I can't even imagine being in that position. So I'm just grateful that I can produce and I can try to increase it. I'm praying for all the families out there that are struggling with this, that your babies get what they need. And I did want to mention Shawn Johnson. She just posted something about a website her and her husband started, I believe, called babyformulaexchange.com. So if you have extra cans of formula in your pantry, or if you're looking for that extra can and you need to buy it, this is a place where you can do the exchange. I'm sure there's got to be more resources and websites like this out there right now. So if you have any ideas for that, please leave a comment below so that people can read through the comments and just get the help that they need right now. I've done this before when I felt like I was pretty low on breast milk, and it worked pretty well, but did you just puke on me again? Every vlog. I have applied some of the things I'm gonna be trying out before, but not all of them all at once. So if you're in the same boat as me, maybe try some of these different things out with me. We can have a little milk making party. I'm eager to see if I apply all of these tips / hacks like at once, if that's gonna significantly increase my breast milk. So stay tuned to the end of this video because I'll show you kind of a before and after of how much milk I'm able to produce. Let's go open the groceries before your brother wakes up, because then we won't be able to do anything. Okay, so there's some very obvious things I can start applying right away. Like, things everybody knows, like drink more water. This, I should be drinking like a full thing of this every day. Eating healthy, obviously important as I pull out the broccoli, but we have been trying so much harder to eat healthy, to buy good ingredients, organic when we can. Richie's been working out. I don't, but I take a lot of walks. I lift my heavy kids. I did find a lactation cookie recipe that I'm gonna be trying later on in the vlog. I actually got a few ingredients for that in here, but also what's super important with breastfeeding is to not be stressed out. And that's easier said than done because the entire thought of our baby not getting enough milk does stress us out. And then we don't make enough milk. So it's like this awful vicious cycle. So it is really important to de-stress. That's like a major thing. I think having COVID stressed me out. I think things with work stressed me out. The kids, like, obviously there's a lot. There's my own worries and anxieties that I deal with. Like just the other day, I was on Instagram. I saw something that freaked me out about my kids that I was up so late at night, like trying to research a whole bunch of things, going down the rabbit hole. I know this is a struggle for so many mamas out there. I just try to remind myself that there are certain things I can control and there are certain things I can't control. And that leads me into the sponsor of today's video, which is Ethos. If you don't already know, my husband Richie works in finance and we're both huge believers in life insurance. Did I know what the heck life insurance was before I married Richie? No. And in a lot of ways, he opened my eyes to the importance of these things and just proactively preparing to protect your loved ones no matter what life throws at you. We both grew up in immigrant families where our parents didn't know how to prepare in a lot of ways. And so now that Richie and I have our own children, this is majorly important to us. And it's one of those things that I can control when it comes to relieving some of that stress and anxiety about my kids, what's gonna happen in their future if something happens to us, etc. All the things that we don't like to talk about. But knowing your options and being prepared for the worst case scenario is wise. Traditionally, life insurance has been confusing, time-consuming, expensive. Ethos, on the other hand, focuses on creating a seamless customer experience. They have a mobile online application process. You just have to answer a couple of health questions online. Ethos makes it very easy. Ethos is able to cover people in minutes instead of weeks. It also costs less than expected. A lot of people don't get life insurance because they think it's going to be super expensive. However, many people overestimate the true cost of life insurance by 3 times or more. Our advice is always to get it young. Rates increase each year by 8 to 10%. So if it's been on your mind and you've been putting it off and now you feel like this is your sign, you can get your own personalized free quote by just clicking my link in the description. Okay, here's our fruits. We got some veggies here, rice, bread, tortillas, some cheeses, turkey breast, bacon. This is those pasture-raised expensive eggs. Oh, finally got coffee, thank God, because I just ran out. The flaxseed and the chocolate chips are gonna be for the lactation cookies that I wanna make. A couple chips here. We need a Saison. We've been doing this Irish butter, which is way healthier with the fats, feta cheese, and some of our favorite things here. Oh, we also grabbed 2 of these just in case we start to come down with anything. Let's talk about power pumping. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of the like full out electric pump. It's just not my cup of tea to like pull out that big bulky thing with all the phalanges or whatever the heck they're called. Editing Nicole here. I just had to jump on because of course it's not anyone's cup of tea, Nicole. Nobody likes to pull out the machine and pump and wash all those pieces with the phalanges. We just do it because we have to feed our babies. Just thought I'd pop in here and school myself on that. Plus, what I'm about to tell you about the Haka and a simple handheld Medela, I will be eating my words by the end of the video, so just stay tuned. I've just always preferred and loved the Haka, as well as a simple handheld Medela pump. I just plan on basically pumping after each feeding session. Essentially what it's telling my body is produce enough milk that she's getting fed plus more so that I can start building up my stash. I did pump after this morning, and I was only able to get almost 2 ounces. So right now, that's where I'm at. So I think that's all I wanted to chat about today. This is gonna be just a video of me talking a lot, but I'm not gonna be like vlogging the entire week every time I pump, every time I take a freaking pill, like, cause that would be a very boring vlog. So more so, I just wanted to list out all the things I'm gonna be doing, and then we will jump back on here, I think Friday, when I make the lactation cookies, so I can show you guys the recipe. And then I'll do like a final check-in at the very end of the video where I actually compare and show you if all of these things worked. Ran to the grocery store this morning. I got a few extra ingredients that I needed for those lactation cookies that we're gonna be cooking today. I'm just having some cuddles with JC boy because he's having a little bit of a rough morning today. So it's technically day 3 of trying to increase my supply. I thought I'd do a little check-in because yesterday was really, really rough. Pumping is hard. I just want to take a moment to give credit to all the moms that are pumping for all the various reasons you might be pumping. A lot of times it ends up being double the work because you're feeding your kid once, but then you're also pumping extra, and it's just a lot. Takes a lot of time, takes a lot of discipline, and I forget that until I like start pumping again because I want to increase my supply. And so yesterday I was a wreck like all morning. I was super stressed out. I was trying to figure out like, wait, how am I gonna fit in pumping every day with the kids' schedules, which are kind of inconsistent at the moment. I mentioned Jason's been waking up early lately. Him and Ari are waking up at different times every morning. It's like hard to figure out how am I gonna make this work. And my original plan was to pump after every breastfeeding session. Yeah, realizing now that's crazy, that's not realistic with 2 kids at least. And also the other realization I made was that the Haka and manual breast pump that I was telling you guys I was gonna use is just not doing it for me right now. The suction I think just isn't strong enough. So I had to pull out my electric pump, which I really was trying to avoid. It works a lot better when you just have 1 kid, but when you have 2 and they both need you, it's very, very stressful. Specifically when Richie's not here to help me. I do feel like that's where the LV pump or the Willow, which are the 2 portable pumps that I know of, would be so helpful because I can just pop them on, let that do the work while I continue to cook for the kids or I continue to tend to Aria or Jace, and I just don't have that as an option right now. I just have the electric pump. So I did reach out to LV because I've been super interested in their product. We were in contact in the past and then somehow lost contact. So I'm hoping I can get back in touch with them and maybe try it out and let you guys know what I think about it because I've heard really good things. But just the thought of not being plugged into something and being able to actually function a normal life while something's pumping for me is like, I just can't think of anything greater right now because that's how much stress the electric pump was causing me. That's not going to help with increasing my supply. I already talked about how important it is to not be stressed. So that being said, I don't think I should be pumping after every single feeding session with Aria. That's just too much. That's not manageable with the 2 kids while I'm watching them. So I am just gonna focus on doing a power pumping session after her first feeding of each day because that's when I'm already the most full. I have the most milk after a good night's sleep and I'm able to get a decent amount of milk. This morning, that's what I did. I pumped, I believe, 3 full ounces out of both sides combined, which is a little bit of an increase from yesterday. So I am seeing a bit of an increase. So we're gonna make some cookies today. Jace, you wanna make some cookies with Mama? And go put your apron on. And you could put everything in the bowl and mix it up. What do you think?
No, never mix it up.
Some chocolate chips along the way. You know what they say, there's plenty of fish in the sea. Don't ask me why I trusted him with this big pile of goldfish here because I have no idea what I was thinking.
More oatmeal.
And then we need 2.5 tablespoons. Oh, yep, there it is. He just couldn't help himself. Had to stick it in the bowl. Okay, we dodged a bullet because he did end up taking this piece out. So at this point, there isn't any goldfish in there, I don't think.
More simmer.
No more
More
cinnamon.
simmer. More simmer. That's up for you. That's me. That looks good.
A whole new world! And finally, the inevitable happened. We don't do that. Take your goldfish out. Take them out. We don't want them in there. No, no, no. Take them all out.
Dada, I made cookies.
You did?
Yeah, I did.
Great.
You wanna eat one?
Listen to your mother.
Listen to your dad. Listen to your auntie. Listen to your gramps.
That was Listen to Your Mother, Listen to Your Dad by Shimmy with Nicole.
Jace, you ready for some cookies?
Nummy.
I'm doing this for you. I'm eating cookies for you, honey. Just kidding, I love cookies. I eat them almost every night. So these are gonna make me feel way less guilty. Literally, I'm obsessed with cookies and milk after dinner.
Cookie.
Wow, very good.
Are they really? I haven't even tried it yet. Okay.
I feel my nips tingling.
Richie! Mmm. Yeah. Oh, that was a good shot. Mmm, these are good. Well, I'm gonna be eating these every night this week. I'm gonna put the recipe in the description below. I literally just went on Pinterest and selected the one that said best lactation cookies because I believe them. And honestly, they're pretty freaking good. I just hope they work. Oh, there's chocolate on my lip that entire time. Okay, so it's been a week, 7 days. I wanted to do a final check-in, kind of share my thoughts of how this week has been. It's been a long week. It's also been a very sad week. There was the Buffalo, New York supermarket shooting. Then we just found out about the school shooting in Texas. It's hard to even know the right thing to say. It's all just so evil and messed up. I just don't feel right not saying something about it because literally the whole morning I was just like with the kids at the park, and then I saw the flag half down, and so I just felt like it's right to honor each of these people that have passed from this awful event and lift them up and lift up their family and friends in prayer who are hurting so much right now. So asking all of you to do the same. When we see things like this happen over and over again, you know, especially in the past couple of years, there's been so much loss for so many people, and it can be hard to continue to have hope and faith in a better future. And, you know, I mentioned worrying about my kids and my own struggles with that. And so I just was looking up a few verses about hope today that I wanted to share with anyone else who might be feeling down. Psalm 62, 5 and 6. For God alone my soul waits in silence, for my hope is from him. He alone is my rock and my salvation, my fortress. I shall not be shaken. I love that. I love the last line, I shall not be shaken, because things like this can really shake us to the core and strike us with fear for ourselves, our families, our own kids. For me, my hope is in Christ alone, and that's what keeps me going even through the wickedness of this world. As much as there's evil and wickedness, there is goodness and there is a God. Okay, so wanted to share about my breastfeeding journey, which seems so minuscule in comparison to obviously all these things going on, but there's just so much for me to be grateful for. I don't even want to complain about things, but I do want to share the very realistic side of trying to increase your breast milk supply. what it reminded me of was that even if you're not a first-time mom anymore, you know, like this is my second baby that I'm dealing with, my second time breastfeeding, and I'm still learning things. In motherhood, we just never lack learning something new, you know, with each child and as time goes on. So anyway, here are my final thoughts kind of on the week. First of all, I continued doing my morning pumping sessions after I fed Arya with the electric pump. It increased a little bit from day 1 to like day 3 or 4. I went from pumping, I think it was 2 ounces to 3, but then after that it kind of stayed stagnant. And for like the rest of the week, I was only able to pump no more than 3 ounces. So by day like 4 or 5, I started to get discouraged that I wasn't pumping more than 3 ounces. I also felt like my nipples were sore, they were hurting. I also wanted to mention that Arya, when she breastfeeds, she prefers my right side, so my left side ends up kind of just not producing as much milk. So once I started to pump both sides, my left side started to get clogged ducts because it just isn't used to producing in general. So that started to get pretty painful. I mentioned this to my friend. She was like, you know what, do you know if you're using the correct size flange? Which, by the way, I've been saying that word wrong. So I've heard of that before. You know, you gotta make sure you have the correct size. I've always just used the standard 24 millimeter that came with my Medela electric pump. But then I started to take a closer look and read some articles online and realized I might be using a flange that's too big, which can cause clogged ducts, so that makes sense, and it also can cause sore nipples. So I ran to my friend's house and she let me borrow some smaller sizes, and I did feel a little better, less sore. However, the morning pumping session did not produce more milk. I still continued through all 7 days to only get up to 3 ounces of milk with the morning. So then like halfway through the week at day 4 or 5, I did start doing an evening pumping session after I put Arya down to sleep. And that actually did increase once I switched the flange size. So when I used the larger flange, I was only able to pump 3 ounces at the evening session. When I used the smaller size, I was able to pump 4 ounces. So that made me think, okay, maybe it was the flange size, and I'm gonna keep kind of experimenting with this. I'm gonna include a helpful video in the description as well that I watched. But another thing that started to happen was that my back started to hurt so bad. And I don't know if it's cause like, you know, when you're using the machine pumping like at a table, you're kind of, I usually crouch forward because I want the milk to like go down and into the bottles. So that caused a lot of back pain. I'm still very sore. I think I'm gonna have to go to the chiropractor. Yeah, I didn't think of that. I didn't expect that to happen. So that kind of affected just how I've been feeling physically. I also showed you guys earlier in the video that I was gonna be taking these liquid gold supplements, but I didn't say anything about it. So I did wanna explain a little bit more. This is from the Legendary Milk brand. It says it optimizes breast milk production, contains goat's root herb, milk thistle, seed, and other supportive herbs. I've heard a lot about it. It does say fenugreek free, which I've been hearing controversial things about fenugreek, that it doesn't actually increase breast milk supply. So anyways, I've been taking this every day as well for the past week. Did this really increase or help? I mean, it's hard to know what was really the thing that was helping. I definitely would say that my milk supply is increasing, but it's been a slower process for me. And I know everybody's body is different. So I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube where people are like pumping 10 pounds of breast milk in a day. Just very extreme things. And I guess that's why I had this expectation that I'm gonna be pumping a ton of milk in 1 week. Overall, I have been able to start a freezer stash. I think I only have like 4 or 5 milk bags, but you know what? I will take it. I know I am grateful right now for anything I can pump and get. I was also at Target the other day. Of course, checked the formula aisle just in case, and I found 1 container of Happy Baby Organic. I've never used this before, but it said organic on it, so I was like, you know what? I would like to have another one just in case. I feel like my body can increase production. I'm seeing it. It's just slow. I feel like the hardest part for me is just figuring out the timing of when to do it, because truly that morning session of pumping with both kids needing me, and I'm literally like at the breakfast table pumping, is really stressful. So since I've been starting to do night ones now, I might just flip it and only do night. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll end up getting my hands on an LV pump, which could be really helpful being hands-free. I tried to be very real about this because I do think that most of the time increasing your supply is full of ups and downs. It's full of trial and error, things that might work for you, things that might not work for you. You know, like I was getting a lot of advice from people on Instagram, and I know that people are going to be leaving advice or tips in the comments as well of what worked for them. So advice from other moms is great. I just think that, you know, if you're in the same boat as me and you're going to be reading through the comments, take them with a grain of salt. Use discretion as you read through. Don't try every single thing. That's going to be completely overwhelming. Take what you think is going to work for you and your body and your lifestyle and all of that. You know, like somebody told me, oh, just pump every hour and a half and you'll be good. And I'm thinking, I cannot pump every hour and a half. That's completely unrealistic to my life and my schedule and work and 2 kids. Like, I can't do that. So you just need to think through what's gonna work best for you and have grace with yourself if, you know, like you make some mistakes along the way, and it's okay. At the end of the day, again, I'm just so grateful I was able to even get any milk from pumping. And it does give me some peace of mind to know that, okay, if I pump every day, it is increasing. So, you know, if worst case scenario, I can't get my hands on a formula, our body is amazing, and what our bodies can do is incredible, and I'm glad that I have that option. Why did Jace just wake up from his nap right now? He just woke up so early. Okay, well, you know what? That's okay, because I was gonna end this video here anyway. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this was helpful or encouraging or enlightening in one way or another. I love you guys very much, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.